Hello, good afternoon, everybody. It's Brian here. Happy first day of spring of March 20th of 2022. It is the first week of this spring, and I have some very positive things to pass on as well. And talking about a spring update for this spring of this year. So this is going to be called Spring 2022 Update, to talk about some of the positive things, what's going to happen with me for this summer draws near. So here it goes, and also talk about what's going to be in store after this summer, come next fall, next winter, and the following spring of next year as well. So here goes. I really want to pass on the very wonderful news, everybody, is that I am going to be emailing my resume to the University of Alberta Hospital for a part-time job position opportunity. And likewise, I'm also very pleased to announce is that this week, this Wednesday, my mom and we're going to be getting my Adobe graphic design course for Macewan University that I'm going to be taking between the end of this April, so later on this April of next month. So between the end of this April of next month and the first 2 weeks of the following next month after of this May, between Saturday, April 30th of April of next month and the following next month of Saturday, May 7th, May 14th in the spring and May, I'm going to be going to school at Macewan University for Adobe graphic design. So I am very pleased to announce about that too. I'm getting the dates rescheduled. Right now, I'm also in the process of routing my stuff that I had temporarily delayed, and also going to refigure out my plans in between my new part-time work schedule and my school post-secondary education college schedule, so that way it doesn't affect. Likewise, I'm also really wanting to tell you is that this spring in May, I will be turning 29 years old. So I am hoping to celebrate my birthday with my friends again, that I haven't had for the past 2 years because of the uncertainty and the challenges that's been going on for the past 2 years. But there's some positive silver linings this spring too, as well as this summer, later on this June, and the beginning of early this July as well. So I will get to that as we discuss that as well. Now, for those who don't know, I really want to say is that I am wanting to let you all know is that my friend Daniel was saying about an open house for the new Valley Line LRT that's going to be opening too. So I'm definitely going to plan to check out the new low floor LRT trains to see what they look like, since I have rode the low floor streetcars on 505 Dundas and 510 Spadina in the downtown area in Toronto, Ontario in July of last summer. You can recall 8 months ago when I was taking the bus from my Auntie Paula's place in Waterdown to Aldershot Station, and where I got to take the GO train at Aldershot Station through Burlington, Appleby Station in Burlington, and along with Bronte and Oakville Station in Oakville, and then onwards to Union Station in the downtown Toronto that I know. In fact, I really want to say is that I have some very positive things to look forward to this year. I'm looking forward to getting my bike out again, since I'm really looking forward to rescheduling my Calgary Stampede visit trip to Calgary Stampede in Calgary this summer in July of this year that I had to postpone 2 years ago, last summer in 2020, and the previous summer in July of 8 months ago last year. But it was very important to keep myself and everyone safe last July, because depending on the vaccinations and that Delta variant resurgence, so I had to postpone my Calgary visit for Stampede for a second year in a row. But I was very understanding when my mom and I went to Toronto for my grandma and Auntie Hazel's funeral in Ontario on this past July of last summer. And because of all this, and what I did in Toronto was very responsible of me, is the reason I'm allowed to take the buses on the HSR my own in Hamilton, as well as water down on my travels in Ontario again. Especially taking the GO bus, the GO train on our Lakeshore West line in the GTHA Greater Toronto Hamilton areas, including taking the subway at Union Station to St. George Station, and visiting Ossington Station and Dufferin Station on our Bloor Danforth line, and as long as I'm very quickly getting back on the subway, as like my mom and I have discussed that, and I have always been very good about that policy. Most importantly, folks, I really want to say is that I'm still going to have to do my EI, my employment insurance reporting, once I get my new part-time job sorted out, and once I get things figured out this year before the summer as well as after the summer. And yes, I am in the process of rescheduling my Hamilton-Toronto trip that I wanted to do this past September. That didn't happen 7 months ago because of the fourth wave, but we'll get that sorted out again too. In fact, I still have things set aside. I have some stuff like my allowance I'm keeping aside for school. And most importantly, I'm really looking forward to getting my schooling on track, focusing on Adobe graphic design at Macewan University between the end of this April, of Saturday, April 30th, and the first 2 weeks of Saturday, May 7th and May 14th of this May of this spring. So lots of positive things up in the air. Yes, I'm also in the process of rescheduling my birthday party get-together, since I didn't get to host last year because of the tough restrictions that time, and I wasn't able to have my friends come over for my birthday party, so that didn't happen. But hopefully it will happen this year for my 29th birthday this May of this spring, as well as my 30th birthday the following spring in May 2023, as well as my 31st birthday in May of 2024. So lots of positive things in the future of this year as well as in the future as well. And most importantly, folks, I just saw the advertisement that the Soundwave Steve Aoki event has been postponed to after summer holidays. So once the summer months is over, come next September of next fall. So after the summer months, I will be able to attend Soundwave at World Water Park at West Edmonton Mall again. Since it has been a while since the last time I went was before the uncertainty. And yes, I will always meet my friends in a public place on my travels, as well as raves, Soundwave, and including when I'm visiting Hamilton, my old place in Ontario, on visits from Edmonton, and this is so very rewarding too. And as always, I will continue making bus trip videos of random buses of all kinds on the HSR My Travels in Hamilton. And especially before and after I go for Calgary Stampede, I'll still continue making random ETS bus videos of all kinds, including the Rattling Rockin' Robin, Musical Proterra Dancing Electric Potato Bus, as I always call it, random buses of all kinds. And likewise, I hope to do when I visit Calgary for Stampede this summer, to get a chance to check out the CNG Nova buses on Calgary Transit, and also get a chance to see one of the articulated buses on one of the bus routes that connects not just within the downtown area, but also where it goes to one of the C-train areas not far from Heritage Park. So I'm coming up with ideas for that this summer too, so that way I don't have to waste my time transferring from the blue line, from the red line and blue line at City Hall Station, so I can use alternate routes on the buses of Calgary Transit, as well as the C trains on their transit system in Calgary on my visits too. Usually I was going to go do that last July of last summer, but I had to put that on hold because I got vaccinated twice, and it was best for me to stay away from the crowds and other people. But now that I got my third booster dose at the beginning of this January, I'm also very pleased to announce that, yes, we're in a better place now. And with Canada getting the highest vaccination rates of 85%, so another 15 more will be 100% fully protected. So lots of positive things to look forward to this spring as well as the summer. And the best part, Easter's coming up in April of next month as well. So there's that new movie called Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that's opening in theaters at the end of the first week of this April. That's when after all the kids get back to school from their spring break on the first week of April, since my friend Francis, who's a dad's bus driver, his daughters are in high school in Alwy Carins, where I used to go to for junior high and senior high school for 8 years. I always will get a chance to call them, since I have friends who I had who used to be my teachers a long time ago when I was in junior high and senior high school. This is the best choice for me to get a chance to give them a call. And sometimes you may want to know is I get an excellent chance to meet the new students and the new kids. And the best of all, because I'm not a student in Alwy Carins anymore, because I graduated 11 years ago in June 2011, I'm permitted to call the teachers by their first names and their last names. So one day I'd like to get my cousin Jariah involved too, and he's a lot older, and that way he'll learn just like I did. Most importantly, the best thing what's not going to change in between my new part-time work schedule and my school schedule, I am going to be very careful about making YouTube videos of random elevators, various ETS buses, and not film people who do not want to be filmed. That's a very respectful thing too, because you don't want people to take advantage of you, right? And I don't want people taking advantage of me. So it's about dignity and as well as respect. In fact, I'm also gonna put out some very excellent words out there as well. And my birthday is a very special occasion every year in the spring and May. So every spring in the month of May, I always do separate parties for my birthday party for a number of reasons, because one big one, my friends who are at certain ages, we have a set of rules as well as policies about what video games are allowed and what video games are not allowed. Like, for example, no Grand Theft Auto games, no inappropriate video games that have bad stuff that shouldn't be used or not be said. And most importantly, my mom and I, we always have this policy as well. Whenever my friends come over, we have a rule about what video games are allowed, what movies are not allowed. So we make sure this is perfectly in the clear as well. No food or drinks near my laptop. No food or drinks near my Xbox One console. That is a very excellent policy and very good example that I obey and adhere by that rule. So that example always stays the same. In fact, and the thing is, and my friends who are at certain ages, so we have a rule about what video games are allowed too, so that way, because who I used to go to school with in Alloy Karens for junior high 16 years ago, 2005, 2006, and senior high school for 5 years in 2008, 2009, 13 years ago, to 9 years ago, 2012, 2013, my last year of high school. We always have a clear example about what video games are allowed and what's not allowed. So that way, the most important example is this. So a couple of things. One, my friends who are in their early, mid-teens, late teens, early 20s, mid-20s, and early 30s, who I used to go to Alloy Karens for junior high and senior high school, are at certain ages. So we always want to make sure we're being very careful about what movies we're allowed to see and what movies are a real no-no. But most importantly, folks, I have lots of positive things to look forward to this spring, and I hope each and every one of you has too, and I hope people who have kids look forward to catching up with their school year, like finishing up between April, May, and as June as the school year winds down for the summer, and especially hopefully for a better summer of this year compared to last year and the year before. In fact, I'm also going to be in the process of rerouting my round bus trip to and from Calgary for the Calgary Stampede this summer in July that I have had temporarily postponed for the past 2 years, but I will safely get that back on track. So, YouTubers, have yourselves a wonderful afternoon and an enjoyable evening. First day of spring, March 20th of 2022. Thank you for this wonderful spring 2022 update, and I will provide you with an April 2022 update after the last 2 weeks of this March come the first Friday of April 1st. First day of spring, March 20th of 2022. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy, and I will provide you with some more updates. I will see you then. And be sure to check out more ETS bus videos and LRT, St. Albert Transit, Strathcona County, and random elevators, of course. Have a good one, folks. Happy first week of spring. First day of spring, March 20th of 2022. Have a good evening, everyone.